Good morning, this is Dwayne, and today I'd like to talk about 5 easy techniques that any piano player can add to their piano playing to make their playing more interesting. Later I'll cover some advanced techniques, but today I just want to focus on 5 easy techniques. I'm sure there's more than 5, but 5 came to mind here, and I'd like to cover those today. You don't have to be advanced at all to learn these techniques, and they do add to your piano playing if you use them with discretion. You don't want to overuse them, of course, but if you use them with discretion, they can add a lot to your piano playing. Technique number 1 is a crunch. Most people don't use a crunch. And a crunch is where you play a chord from the top down, like this. Hear that? If I just play a chord, that's one thing. If I play a chord from the top down as a crunch, it has a different sound. Some people play it in rhythm. Like so, okay? But the point is to play from the top down. Okay, so the technique number 1 is a crunch. Play it from the top down. I would use your damper pedal to capture it after you play the notes. Technique number 2 is to play a blue grace note. A grace note is where you glance off another note as you aim for the main note. Let's say the main note is F. You glance off E on your way to F. Okay? Well, a blue grace note is like that, except it just deals with black keys. And jazz pianists use a lot of the blue notes, blue grace notes, by sliding off a black key to a white key. Now, in classical music, you should use 2 fingers, but in jazz, a lot of people just use 1 finger. Watch this. Here's the crunch. Okay, that's a blue grace note. Now, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to do it all the time because it gets too much. But occasionally do that. See that? I didn't use it all the time, but once in a while. So, technique number 1 is the crunch. Number 2 is the blue grace note. Technique number 3 is simply echo the melody. Whenever you have a chance, a break in the music, where there's a rest, take the latest melody note or latest 2 melody notes and echo them. Watch. See, I crunched it and then I echo. Here's another way to do it. Crunch. You see that? I echo the melody. There's a melody. Echo that an octave higher and 2 octaves higher before I went on. See that? Now the 4th technique is to use what I just did, use thirds. In other words, instead of just a simple melody, instead of just a single note like that, that's a single note, and that's fine, but also you can use thirds. Put a third, 1, 2, 3, under the melody. Like so. Again. That's a third. Continue with the thirds. See that? And quite often with the thirds I use a blue grace note at the same time. Okay, so you can combine these techniques obviously. And the last technique I'd like to talk about today is like unto thirds. It's just a third upside down. In other words, if I turn that third upside down, in other words, take the bottom note and put it on top, I get that kind of sound. That's called a sixth. Listen. See that? Those are called sixths or parallel sixths. So you have parallel thirds and you have parallel sixths. Good way to harmonize a melody. So 5 easy techniques. You can put a crunch on a chord by playing it from the top down. You can use a blue-grace note. You can use an echo. You can use thirds. Six. There's a sixth, okay? And if you combine all those, then you have a synthesis of techniques, and that's what you should do with all your piano playing. Develop all kinds of, develop a toolbox of styles like that, and then when you play a song, try consciously to plug in several of those tools and mix them up, and then you'll become a very creative piano player. So that's it for today. Hope that helps, and we'll see you again tomorrow with another piano tip. Bye-bye for now.